every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy specializes in a customized designed academic approach tailored to meet the needs of our families. Our lower division prepares students with the necessary foundation to build excellence. Our middle division provides students with over 15 course offerings, providing them with opportunities to explore their talents and gifts. Our upper division provides personalized academic journeys, allowing them to achieve their dreams. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us, where every path leads to purpose.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk 1330, FM 106.3.
Time right now is 8:30. Good Tuesday morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. This morning we are on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. I'll introduce you to my guest here in just one second. My name is Colin Worthington, and early voting for the November 4th municipal general election begins today. Early voting or advanced voting is a 3-week period before the actual election day on November the 4th, where you get a chance to go out there to single polling places in the county. I guess by the third week of this month, they'll open one up in Villa Rica too, I'm assuming. I didn't take a peek at it this year, but at this point, if you want to vote early in Carroll County, you can do so at the Carroll County Elections Office, which right now is across the street from the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. If you want to wait till Election Day on November the 4th, you'll have your own special polling place, the one that you usually go to go vote. I know some people are traditionalists and like to wait till Election Day to do that, but I think the people campaigning and running, they want to see those votes out there early. They want to know people are going out there and not going to miss that one day. One of those people, I suspect, is named Dominique Conteh. She is named Dominique Conteh, and she is running for Ward 5 City Council in the city of Villa Rica. That seat currently held by Danny Carter, and he's decided not to seek re-election. There are 3 candidates seeking to replace him. It's Dominique, Douglas Lang, and Liz Morales. We're hearing both versions, as she likes. Maybe Liz is a nickname, but Liz Morales. So 3 candidates, which always makes you think there is a potential for a runoff, but I'm sure none of them want to go through that process. So anyway, Dominique, good morning.
Good morning, Colin.
Let us start out with your intro. Who are you, and what are you about?
Well, good morning, Colin, and good morning, everyone on Facebook that's watching. My name is Dominique Conteh. I'm running for City Council for Ward 5 here in Villa Rica. I am... so many things. I've served as a public servant for over 25 years. During that time, I was a U.S. Marine veteran. I served in the Corps. Then after I served abroad, I came home and served here in all capacities of my community, specifically Villa Rica, for 13 years. Of course, I've served Carroll County NAACP president, the first woman president to serve a unit or branch here in Georgia, Order of the Eastern Stars, as well as helped out with our homeless vets, helping them understand their benefits, things of that nature, helping out with domestic violence in our community, victims, and it's just a whole gambit of service that I've done pretty much my entire life since I joined the Corps at 18.
And you did seek this seat 4 years ago. You ran, it was unsuccessful. However,
yes. I
think you just lost by 3 votes, right?
Correct. I ran for the seat against our current incumbent, Danny Carter. Lost by 3 votes. I had 112. He had 115. And because they said I didn't lose by 2, that they weren't required to do a hand-mandated recount. And as you stated earlier, yes, Councilman Carter is retiring, so the seat is open. And I decided to run for it again.
How many voters are in that ward, do you think? I know there's
active
voters and registered, right? And
that is a big difference.
Yeah.
The active for Ward 5 is around 12 to 1,500 voters, though. You could double that. But the active ones, of course, that's who we like to try to focus on because they seem to want to do their civic duty, and go out and vote.
Well, you're making that effort to get other people to vote. I mean, that could be the difference here in this race.
That is a good question. We are leaving no stone uncrossed or unlooked at because at the end of the day, I want to be able to reach everyone. Maybe they've been cynical in the past and have their reasons on why they felt like their vote didn't count or it wasn't necessary. And, hopefully the one-on-one that I've been trying to get out, my team has been trying to make sure that I'm out to actually talk to our residents and neighbors and see what their issues are and what they are looking for in a representative. I know visibility and transparency obviously is big. Our tax dollars is another big issue amongst others.
Dominique Conteh, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program, one of 3 candidates running for City Council seat in Villa Rica Ward 5. Define the Ward 5 for me. What are the boundaries?
Ward 5, we actually just recently went through a rezoning, if you will, so it's actually expanded. But pretty much when you're driving I-20 and you take the Liberty Road exit, all of that to the left where you have the Pilot gas station, all of the Westlake's home, move further back out to Edge Road, Daniel Road, Ashbury Drive, Legacy, Maple Valley, South Carroll, South Candler, East Wilson Streets. It just goes on. It just continues to expand. So we did get some additional neighborhoods that obviously we had to remap and make sure that we reached out to them too, let them know, right, that they were actually part of Ward 5 now with the rezoning. Because a lot of neighbors know that they've been to rezoning. They just don't know what's the finality of it. Like, okay, who's my new rep now? Who's my new council, man or woman? So some of them were surprised, like, oh, that's us. I'm like, yeah, welcome to Ward 5.
There you go. That's what I'm here to tell you. Now, this is not the first public office that you sought. I guess has your perspective changed since maybe the first time that you ran? Is that, are there, your motivation, to keep, to continue running? Was there, and this is for, this is the second time you've run for city council,
yes,
right?
That was, like I said, lost by 3 votes to Councilman Carter, then incumbent.
So was there a specific issue, now before you talked to people, before you were talking to the homeowners and residents in that district, is there something in particular that motivated you, something that you saw that you said, yeah, I'd like to have input of that and help fix that?
Yes, in particular because I live on the Douglas side of Villa Rica, like off of Liberty Road, Pool Road area in West Lakes. We have a lot of traffic. All of Villa Rica does, but specifically us due to the truck stop and the new truck center that they're building and the additional 2 lights that we just, the last light actually just came on and started being active on Monday. So we're trying to cross our fingers and toes and hope that what GDOT and the city stated would happen with helping with the traffic and not getting us burdened, because we don't have an outlet. So there's only one way in and one way out of all of our West Lakes communities, and it's hundreds of us. So that particular instinct is interesting, as well as noticing that we need, and we've been saying this for a while, sidewalks on Pool Road. Our kids they literally walk in the road. And that's extremely dangerous because it's, like I said, there's no outlet. There's one way in and one way out of our neighborhoods. So we have to be constantly on the alert, driving extremely carefully, when we're going around the hills and curves that our neighborhoods have, because they have nowhere to pretty much walk but the road. So that's been a concern for the parents over there, and I get it. I'm grateful that my 2 boys are in college now, but when they were younger, because it's been going on for a while, and I've been in that neighborhood for 13 years, and that hasn't been resolved. So that's one serious concern, safety concern that our neighbors have, specifically on the Douglas side of Villa Rica, for the West Lakes community, but not just that. On the other side, since I've been doing my door knocking pretty much every day, Just last night spoke to some neighbors in Ward 5 stating that they're concerned about apartments and, depreciation of homes and the value.
Too many apartments, too many residents, yeah.
So they wanted to know, obviously, my concern or where I would support them or stand on that particular issue amongst, again, the traffic. So the traffic is universal, no matter where you live in Ward 5 or, for that matter, Villa Rica.
And it's hard to get GDOT to control GDOT. I mean, it can't do that as a city council person. But,
exactly.
But the sidewalks you could have an impact on. How come, why do you not think that you said it's been a problem for a long time. Why hasn't it been done? And have you pinpointed any way to pay for that, whether it be general budget, these LMIG grants?
Honestly, good question. I was looking at SPLOST. Honestly, I feel like it hasn't been addressed because the majority of my neighbors in Westlakes, they don't know Representative or Councilman Carter. They don't even know that he's our councilman. So the lack of transparency in getting out in Ward 5, to be honest with you, in the community, to see what our issues are, especially because we are a unique ward, because it's 2 counties in one that makes up that particular ward. So on one side of Ward 5, they may need one thing specifically for Carroll and vice versa for the Douglas side. I know there's a unanimity when it comes to traffic, that's everybody. Mm-hmm. But specifically for the sidewalks, that's our particular neighborhoods that has, like I stated, hundreds of residents that have plethora of kids. And they're just, concerned because we don't have speed bumps. We really don't want speed bumps, but we do want some type of safety there where the kids can safely walk through on the side rails or walks of Pool Road because it's such a long stretch.
Dominique Conteh is one of 3 candidates running for Ward 5 City Council in the city of Villa Rica. She is our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. You have any questions or comments, feel free to post those to the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, and hopefully I'll remember to look at those during this commercial and during the commercial breaks and share them with our guest. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy is a vibrant community built on innovation, academic excellence, and a 64-year legacy of shaping community leaders. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, inviting you to visit the mountain and experience firsthand the passion, purpose, and personalized education that defines our school. Come see how our mission and vision come to life each day. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
841, welcome back to the Community Voice here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3, brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy. My name's Colin Worthington. My guest this morning, Dominique Conteh, again, one of 3 candidates running for the Ward 5 seat on Villa Rica City Council. I believe we have at least one of the other candidates coming on the program here in the next week or so, and if the other candidate wants to come on, I believe you know how to find me. Reach out to me, and we'll try and find a spot for you. Again, Dominique Conteh, our guest. The last two years, last 2 years, I mean, City of Villa Rica has kind of had I think people are getting a bad perspective of Villa Rica, not actually excited about what's been going on there. It's, so I guess it all started with a contentious mayor's race. Mm-hmm. It may have been stuff that happened beforehand. So, but yeah, it's about 2 years. I mean, how do you, what's your perspective on what's gone on over the last 2 years?
You're correct. It has, our city has been busy. And there was definitely high stakes, contentious mayoral race the last couple of years. that left, I guess, some citizens, the residents, with a little bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, and they're becoming more vocal, I think, maybe because of that.
Definitely have, specifically in certain wards pertaining to, like you stated, their homes and possibly eminent domain and all of those things, the new Mirror Lake connection that has transpired and that's still going on and pending, if you will. It's been a lot of, which is good for citizens to be vocal, but of course there's a decorum and a way to do that, to express your First Amendment. But there has been contentious times in our city council the last 2 years with residents feeling the lack of transparency, perhaps feeling blindsided, lied to, just to be frank with you. There's a lot of sore feelings, if you will, and concern as homeowners in that particular area should be.
Now, that property, that's not in your district.
It is not.
Right? I mean, that's a traditionally African American community. It's been there for maybe more than 100 years.
Correct.
Where that community's been occupied, but and I feel that's what that created some of the bigger issues too, because they felt like, hey, you're targeting us.
Absolutely.
And you're taking our property. Do you know where that stands right now as far as that? I mean, I know they were still in the process of purchasing some houses, and last I heard there might have been like 2 more that were left out there. But was eminent domain involved in that at all? And how do you feel about using eminent domain?
Right, that's a good question. From my understanding, that eminent domain wasn't involved, but again, I'm just on the outside, just hearing like everyone else, so don't quote me, but that's what I've been told. I know that it's pending, it's not finished, the connection is not finished yet, and the city is being, what's the lack of a better word, in a pickle, if you will, pertaining to how to move forward, because from my understanding, it's a $20 million project contract with Fuqua, the developers, that the city signed. And if you breach that contract, of course, the city will get sued, and it is a likelihood, probability, that the entire city will be held responsible for paying up to $20 million back, taxpayer money, plausibly, back to the developer due to the breach of contract. I know one of the things, like I've been saying, should I become councilwoman, is to immediately look at the contract to see if there's any type of clause that we can possibly pull away from this situation. But that may be wishful thinking, if you will. So if that's not the plausibility, then there's going to be some really tough decisions that need to be made. But I feel at the end of the day that those residents should be made whole by any means necessary.
As a council person, I mean, you're stuck in that position where you can't really say anything. I mean, you can't. I mean, you want to be open, you want to be transparent, but there are things that, I mean, legally you're not supposed to share, but you're being tugged on by your constituents. I mean, there are things that you want to tell them.
Of course.
I mean, I guess, are you going to follow the law if you're in that situation?
I have no choice but to follow the law, but I will do my best to advocate. Like you said, even though Ward 1 is not specifically my ward, and they do have Councilman Shirley Marchman that represents that particular ward, but I will do whatever to support her and her ward and the Villa Rica citizens in that particular area, because I'm a homeowner myself. I understand the value and the hard work that goes, and just the pride and tradition you have in your home. You don't want anyone, obviously, to come in and bulldoze or take away what you've worked so hard for, especially in this economy where it's extremely difficult to be a homeowner. And back to your other question pertaining to eminent domain, I am not a strong proponent of that, because again, I believe in you keeping your property. I understand it, but I definitely believe that should be a last resort, for sure.
Well, you're believing in keeping your property.
Absolutely.
How would you rezonings or discussion at pretty much every single city council meeting and work session, proponent of people keeping their property? Are you ever in favor of telling somebody what they can and cannot do with their property when you're looking at those rezonings? I mean, how does that? You got to weigh that.
You do. I am definitely more for homeowners having that autonomy over their homes, unless they're endangering, the community or the city or something of that nature. I don't see where it should be necessary for you to specifically direct a homeowner who's worked hard for their land, whether it's a lot or acre or what have you, to just, bully them, if you will, and demand. Now, if it's something, again, that is harming of the community and the city, then obviously there definitely would need to be having a conversation for sure to come to the meeting of the minds.
Dominique Conteh, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. Have you done any studies on data centers?
I have been getting quite some information because we're the data center, one of them, because there's two.
In Villa Rica?
Correct. Especially Ward 5, because we have one on the Douglas side.
Okay.
Right, the Keaton Reserve. That's actually going to be right behind Westlake's, my neighborhood. So I definitely.
Right, that one's close to the airport, isn't it?
No, it's going to be behind the West Lakes area.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. So we have a meeting today at 6:00. There's two meetings, one today, and I appreciate the transparency for them letting us know that. Mm-hmm. So that's good because everybody's been talking about it. So we have a meeting today at 6, and then I believe there's another one on Election Day, November 4th, to let the community, my neighbors in particular in that area, know what the plan is, what their intentions are, and how this will move forward and affect us specifically, since it's going to be literally in our back door.
Well, how do you feel about those now? Because there are people who are concerned that, I mean, we can think about Villa Rica's infrastructure, how the need for water, but now I'm hearing you may not need as much water. Water can be recycled. People are concerned about their property values.
As they should be. Again, I'm a firm believer that in homeowners, you protect and you respect your land and your property that you've worked hard for. So there definitely needs to be, again, more transparency. There needs to be more reach out, communication. There are Ward 5 residents as well as citizens in Villa Rica, period, that are concerned about the environmental protections. They're concerned about pollution, the lack thereof jobs once it's completely built. Of course, they'll hire a certain amount to get the data center built, but the concern I've been hearing is after it's built, how many per se Villa Ricans in particular will be employed, and that's a valid question. And as I stated at our candidate forum last week, Villa Rica need to be at the table for both of those data centers. We need to make sure we're getting our fair share.
Are you a supporter of the special purpose local option sales tax? Is that something that you vote in favor every year? I know you're on the Douglas County side. I don't know if they're voting for it this go around, but Carroll County voters will go decide on continuing that. $205 million, I think, is the maximum. Villa Rica will get a percentage just based on the population. But is that a tax that you support?
Again, I would have to look at the pros and cons and make sure that there are obviously more pros than cons to supporting any taxes. Let me just be transparent. I hate taxes. And I think most Americans hate taxes. We understand the need for them, obviously. So again, want to make sure those dollars are line item and making sure we know exactly where those tax dollars are going for me to say yay or nay to that. So I can obviously go back to the people that's hiring me for this position, God willing, and be able to explain and justify why I voted the way I did.
Time right now is 8:52. We'll take our final break and come back and finish our conversation with Dominique Conteh this morning. She is one of 3 candidates running for Ward 5 City Council in the City of Gold. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Do the math. At Oak Mountain Academy, our average graduating class has just 12 students. We celebrate a 100% graduation rate with more than $10.5 million in college scholarships offered. Plus, 96% of our students are accepted into their top choice college. Do the math. Can you see the value of an OMA education? I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, and I'm here to help you do the math. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
All right, 8:53. Welcome back to the Community Voice, News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. My name is Colin Worthington. My guest is Dominique Conteh, one of 3 candidates running for Ward 5 City Council, City of Villa Rica. Last time I'm going to look at the questions and comments. Although, Dominique, when the show's over, we still get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 more people to watch this later on in the day. So if they post a question, perhaps you wouldn't mind going back.
I will do my best to respond.
Very good. Our good friend Tima Humphreys says, good morning. As you know, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and last October, Mayor McPherson wrote a proclamation recognizing October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If elected, how will you pivot from a proclamation to measurable action in Villa Rica? 2023 stats indicate that Carroll County ranks among Georgia's highest incidence counties for reported domestic violence.
Well, good morning, Ms. Humphreys. Yes, this is that time of the month, and how I would, if you like a word, pivot and try to move forward on improve upon. I would definitely want to reach out to the local organizations that's actually doing work on that. I know I've worked with Tima in the past, so I know who she is. Good morning. Pertaining to that, I know that's near and dear to her heart, as it should be. So that is something that I would continue with her and other organizations in our local community that are advocating and making awareness of that. For sure, that is important.
What are your favorite things about the city of Villa Rica?
Favorite thing, being neighborly. Like, I have great, awesome neighbors. Just given a helping hand, honestly. Like I said, I've been in Villa Rica, specifically Ward 5, for 13 years, and I got awesome neighbors. I love the small town home. Everybody, welcomes everybody, says good morning or whatever time of day it is, and just helpful if they see you in need. I appreciate that, because in today's time, a lot of people, they really kind of just stick to themselves. But Villa Ricans, we seem to be able to, even if we disagree on a lot of subjects, be kind. And maybe that's a Southern hospitality as well.
And wear purple.
And wear purple and gold.
The Dominique Conteh, our guest on this morning's Community Voice program. How about mentors? Is there somebody that you look up to, somebody who you reach out to for guidance? Maybe somebody, it could be worldwide or local. Somebody who you look for inspiration, maybe.
Well, other than the Lord, because he's always on time and has the final say, I would say locally that would be Dr. Bernice Brooks. She's been my mentor since I have been a resident of Villa Rica. She's always had my back. She's always encouraged and educated me on the land of Villa Rica, the history, just everything about it, and I appreciate that. She still does this to this day. She's like my second mom. So I would definitely say Dr. Bernice Brooks is my mentor, and everybody knows that it's not a secret. And I'm very proud to have her support, her guidance, her affirmation, even when she's frustrated with me. It's out of love, and I appreciate that.
Everybody says communication is important. Constituents want it, and people running for office say that they want to provide it. What kind of guarantees can you give as far as your communication with constituents? How often will you do so?
Right, absolutely. For me, transparency is big. I'm in my mind thinking like I would like to do newsletters, quarterly newsletters for Ward 5. I would also like to do at least one town hall a year in my ward, just to touch base, see what's going on, what things they would like for me to push forward, specifically for Ward 5. Also responding within a 48-hour email time frame. And I'm really big on open door policy. When I was a dean for the colleges and department chair, I do believe in having like an open office time frame. So I would ask my staff to definitely chart out some time for Ward 5 residents to schedule time to come up and see me. I don't want to be unapproachable because I am at their leisure. They voted me in. I am their voice for them, advocating for specifically Ward 5. So that's my primary concern, is what my ward is looking for me to do, advocate for, and come back and relate to them.
As a city council person, if there's a issue, whether it's a major issue or just something that you guys have to resolve, you have to vote on as council, and you've educated yourself on that issue, and you're prepared to vote in favor for it, let's say. But what if you have 52 constituents come to you and say, no, we don't want that.
Right.
We don't think you should support that. Despite the fact you feel like
Right.
How do you approach that?
That's a good question, because there's going to be at times hard, tough votes that I will probably have to take. That's when transparency and basically honesty rules today. Letting Ward 5 know, I've heard from you guys, everybody may be on different sides. This is where I'm going to be and explain the reasoning behind it. What I can promise is they may not agree with every vote that I take, but I will do my very best to make sure they know why and communicate ahead of time to get obviously their input on where they feel we should fall specifically as a ward and as their mouthpiece and representative.
All right, Dominique, 1 minute. What do you want to remind people, and also maybe any kind of contact information you have, websites?
Absolutely. I want to remind people that today is the first day of early voting. Please go out and use your voice. If you're early voting and on the Carroll side of Villa Rica, come down here to Carrollton to vote. If you're early voting on the Douglas side of Villa Rica, you can go to the Douglas County Courthouse for this entire time frame from October 14th through Halloween, October 31st, and early vote. Of course, if you believe in voting in general election, you could do that on November 4th. General election for the Douglas side of Villa Rica will be at Mirror Lake Elementary, and Carroll County, where you go vote, is where you usually do your general election voting for November 4th as well. Please use your voice. Every voice counts. And thank you, and I appreciate your support. God bless.
All right, Dominique Conteh, one of 3 candidates running for that Ward 5 seat in the city of Villa Rica. As she said, early voting begins today.
Go vote.
3-week advance period. And November 4th is election day. So again, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having
me. Good
me.
luck, and we'll be watching.
Absolutely.
And possibly a runoff, as we love to have this.
I love that. Thank you.
Guys. And thank you for tuning in this morning. Who do we have tomorrow? I think I have Mayor Sharon Sewell from Bremen coming up this week. If not, it's next week. But tune in tomorrow anyway. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.